Discovery Shark Week is back, and it's crunch time. The pop culture phenomenon returns with an amazing lineup of 20 brand new shows. On night one, Discovery is doing an event called Dancing with Sharks. That's people. Dancing with Sharks. It's something you must see to believe, but it doesn't stop there. From testing shark venom on a human to placing a camera inside a shark's mouth to a massive 500-pound chum drop from a helicopter. Discovery Shark Week is pushing the limits like never before, and is a week everyone will be talking about. Shark Week starts this Sunday, July 20th at 8 on Discovery.
Cody, you were saying we interrupted you and you kept talking through the hard network out, and we couldn't hear
Great respect for Ozzy.
Any of what you said. Yeah. I still don't believe that Mike Ryan is right about this, even though he mocks me. I don't believe that rock can produce an Ozzy Osbourne anymore. We can produce pop stars, but an Ozzy Osbourne, that kind of thing, I don't know how it is that gets produced so that 50 years from now there's whatever would be today the equivalent of 50 people honoring Drake or whatever.
It's just really hard to shock people these days. Part of what made Ozzy such a cult of personality was how shocking he was, even by today's standards. But because there was an Ozzy Osbourne, it makes it really difficult for another one to exist. But Youngblood very clearly going for it. It felt like a pass the baton moment, even though he never interacted or interfaced with Ozzy Osbourne there. A lot like Ozzy in that he is a singular rock act that tours as a rock act. It's not too common these days. Handsome, English, got a lot going for himself, and the pipes to boot. That was, again, seek it out, incredible.
Yeah, I think the fact that Ozzy's had health issues added a poignancy to that whole event. And I want to say that Ozzy, you wouldn't think that they're would be close, but Ozzy and Elton John have been very close friends for a lot of years. They did a duet a couple of years ago called Ordinary Man, which is incredibly poignant because it's what you would imagine. It's about two old rock stars aging and talking about how they feared just leading ordinary lives and how neither one of them did that. It's a great song.
Something that happened also over the weekend that made me feel old was not just watching Ozzy there, but Jack White turned 50.
Yeah.
As part of turning 50, he got a cell phone for the first time, which I love Jack. I don't believe you.
He looked a little bit old when John C. Reilly was singing him happy birthday the other day at Tiger Stadium. I looked at Jack White and saw a rock star who also looked old, and I remain surprised to hear Mike.
John C. Reilly's looked old for a while. I mean,
that aging.
Yes, it's a lot of forehead surface area on that one. But I do believe that I'm not going to say that Jack White is the last of it, but I just think the way that music is made today doesn't really allow for someone to be that kind of different from. I'm not saying from rock music. I mean, we make plenty of musical stars, plenty of pop stars make the stars differently than we ever do. But I just don't know how it is that you make something that existed like Jimi Hendrix from the 60s or 70s. And I'm not romanticizing or pining for a time that didn't exist. I just don't know the way that we're making music today and distributing it, the way that access is today. I don't know that an act can break controversially or even being great enough to be better than the computers and the auto-tune and all of the producers that are making all of this music a little more homogenized, where the AI can even have a hit album, that AI can create a musical hit because computers can now do that.
I think rock music goes through these delayed cycles. We got into it a little bit, but there was an interesting interview that I'm currently listening to with Zane Lowe, who I respect immensely. I think one of the greatest radio disc jockey personality types ever to do it. He interviewed Deftones at a famous diner in L.A., and they're occupying this very interesting place in rock music right now because Deftones are bigger than they've ever been. They're playing sold-out arena shows. They just played the stadium over at Crystal Palace, and a lot of it is TikTok. And a lot of it is songs that were deeper cuts, that were not singles whatsoever, that kids on TikTok have found. When I went to the Deftones show a few months ago, it was all people around 40 and over, and then teenagers. It just missed an entire generation of 20 to 35-year-olds. It was crazy to see. But social media is going to have these moments in which people get really amplified, and it gets people curious. They do some digging, and they realize that a band like Deftones that's been around for 30 years has a huge catalog and deserved to finally have their moment.
Something I should have said earlier that I did not say. I didn't know whether people had seen that we had sold something to ESPN. That Adam McKay and his team have made a 30 for 30 podcast that's 6-part series. Chasing Basketball Heaven on where it is that the three-pointer originated and where it is the game was revolutionized. So we were pretty proud. A small victory here for Meadowlark Media in being able to sell something with Adam McKay to ESPN. It debuts July 22nd.
80-20 my way?